The silent invasion. Commander Reyna Patel stood at the observation deck of the UES Sentinel, her dark eyes fixed on the colony world of New Eden below. Something wasn't right. The agricultural planet had gone silent 3 days ago, and now, staring at its seemingly peaceful surface, she could feel it in her bones. This was only the beginning. Commander, Lieutenant Dante Rodriguez's voice cracked through her calm, preliminary scans complete. You're going to want to see this. In the command center, holographic displays showed thermal imaging of New Eden's surface. Where there should have been heat signatures from the colony's fusion reactors, there was nothing. But in the northern continent, strange geometric patterns pulsed with an alien energy signature. What are we looking at, Rodriguez? Reyna asked, her fingers tracing the unusual formations. Unknown tech, ma'am. But it's spreading. Like a web. He pulled up comparison scans from the past week. These patterns, they're growing. And we've detected similar signatures on 3 other colony worlds. Reyna's jaw tightened. Humanity had encountered alien civilizations before, but most were primitive or isolationist. This was different. This was calculated. Get me Admiral Thaddeus. Minutes later, the weathered face of Admiral James Thaddeus filled the main screen. Commander Patel, your report better be worth interrupting my breakfast. Sir, we've discovered evidence of systematic alien infiltration across multiple colonies. They're using some kind of energy web technology. And they've managed to do it without triggering a single defense system. The Admiral's expression darkened. The Nix Collective. Sir. 3 months ago, one of our deep space probes picked up transmissions about a species called the Nix. Highly advanced, but isolated. We thought they were just stories. He paused, running a hand through his gray hair. How many colonies? 4 confirmed, potentially more. The energy signature is subtle, we only caught it because New Eden went dark. Casualties? Reyna swallowed hard. Unknown. But New Eden had a population of 3 million. The silence that followed was deafening. Finally, the Admiral spoke, his voice heavy with authority. Commander Patel, I'm promoting you to Task Force Commander. You'll lead the investigation into these incursions. Find out what happened to those colonists, and what the Nix want. Sir, with respect, we need a battle fleet. If they've taken 4 colonies we can't risk open warfare, not yet. We need intelligence first. The Nix managed to infiltrate our worlds without detection, that means they're either incredibly advanced, or they have help from within. Reyna nodded grimly. The implications were clear, this could be the greatest threat humanity had ever faced. Over the next week, Reyna led her task force in a covert investigation of the affected colonies. Each world told the same story, the complete disappearance of human populations, replaced by the mysterious energy webs. On New Eden's surface, suited in advanced stealth gear, Reyna and her team discovered the first real clue. In the main colonial administrative building, they found a partially corrupted data core. Dar. Samira Patel, the colony's chief scientist, no relation to Reyna, had left a final message. The holographic recording flickered to life, showing a woman with haunted eyes. They're not here to conquer us. They're here to harvest us. The Nix, they're energy beings. They don't want our resources or our territories. They want our consciousness. Our minds. They've been watching us for centuries, waiting until we developed enough for their purposes. The energy webs, they're not weapons. They're harvesters. They extract human consciousness, leaving the bodies. The message cut off. Back on the Sentinel, Reyna reviewed the evidence with her team. Lieutenant Rodriguez pulled up new scan data. The energy signatures are growing stronger. Whatever they're doing with the harvested consciousness, it's building towards something. How long until they reach Earth? Reyna asked. At current spread patterns, 3 months. Reyna stared at the tactical display, watching the spreading tendrils of Nick's influence. Humanity had faced extinction-level threats before, but this was different. This wasn't about survival, it was about the very essence of human identity. She opened a channel to Admiral Thaddeus. "Sir, I have confirmation. The Nix aren't invaders, they're harvesters. And Earth is their ultimate target." The Admiral's response was immediate. "You have authorization to activate Protocol Omega. Whatever resources you need, they're yours. Stop them, Commander. Whatever it takes." As Reyna began mobilizing humanity's defenses, she couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something crucial. The Nix had waited centuries, watching humanity develop. Why now? What made human consciousness so valuable to them? The answer would change everything, but first, they had to survive long enough to find it. Project Starweaver. Deep beneath the Martian surface, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Dr. Marcus Blackwood stared at the shimmering containment field before him. Inside, a fragment of the Nix energy web pulsed with an otherworldly light, its patterns shifting in ways that defied conventional physics. "Run the simulation again," he ordered, his voice rough from too many sleepless nights. Behind him, Dr. Rina Nakamura, the team's quantum specialist, initiated the test sequence. The lab hummed as powerful generators channeled energy into the containment field. The Nix fragment responded, its light intensifying. On nearby screens, data streamed in torrents, measurements of quantum fluctuations, consciousness wave patterns, and dimensional variances. There, Rina pointed to a specific reading. "That's not random noise. The pattern matches human brainwave signatures, but twisted." Marcus nodded grimly. They'd been working on Project Starweaver for 6 weeks since Commander Patel's discovery of the Nix threat. The facility housed Earth's brightest minds, all racing against time to understand and counter the alien technology. "They're not just taking consciousness," Marcus muttered, "they're translating it. Converting human thought patterns into pure energy." The intercom crackled. "Dr. Blackwood, Commander Patel has arrived for the briefing." In the facility's secure conference room, Reyna Patel looked even more exhausted than Marcus felt. The past weeks had taken their toll as she coordinated humanity's defensive preparations while keeping the public unaware of the true threat. "Please tell me you have something," she said without preamble. Marcus activated the room's holographic display. "We've made a breakthrough. The Nix aren't just collectors, they're transcribers. They've developed technology that can convert consciousness into pure energy, essentially digitizing the human soul." Reyna's eyes narrowed. "To what end?" "Immortality," Reyna interjected. "Their own consciousness exists as pure energy. We think they're harvesting humans to expand their collective consciousness, adding our experiences, our creativity, our essence to their own. Can we stop them?" Marcus hesitated. "Maybe. We've developed a prototype based on their own technology. We're calling it the Mind Forge." He brought up schematics of a sleek device. "It can generate a quantum field that disrupts their harvest process. But there's a catch." "There always is," Reyna sighed. "The power requirements are enormous. And more importantly, it needs a human consciousness to act as a focal point, someone to guide the disruption." "A suicide mission," Reyna stated flatly. "Not necessarily," Reyna stepped forward. "We've developed a neural interface. The operator's consciousness would be expanded. They'd exist partially in our reality and partially in the Nix's energy state. Theoretically, they could survive." "Theoretically," Marcus emphasized. "We haven't tested it yet. The risks are dash." "I'll do it," Reyna interrupted. Both scientists stared at her. "Commander," Marcus started, "you don't understand. The pain alone could dash." "I've seen what they do to our people," Reyna cut him off. "I've walked through empty colonies where millions once lived. We're out of options and out of time. When can we begin? Before Marcus could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Lieutenant Rodriguez's voice came through the comm, "Commander. The Nix, they've accelerated their timeline. We're detecting massive energy signatures approaching the solar system. They'll reach Earth in less than a week." The room erupted into action. "How long until the Mind Forge is ready?" Reyna demanded. 72 hours minimum, Marcus replied, already moving toward his lab. "But Commander, even if it works, you'll need to get close to their main consciousness cluster. We're talking about infiltrating the heart of their fleet." Reyna's expression hardened. "Leave that to me. Just get it ready." Over the next 3 days, the Martian facility transformed into a hive of desperate activity. The Mind Forge prototype was refined and tested while military forces throughout the solar system mobilized. Earth's population remained unaware of the approaching doom, their governments deciding that panic would only make things worse. In his lab, Marcus worked tirelessly, pushing the boundaries of science and sanity. The Mind Forge was a marvel of hybrid technology, combining human innovation with reverse-engineered Nix principles. But as he watched Reyna undergo the neural interface calibrations, enduring pain that would have broken most humans, he wondered if they were just playing into the Nix's hands. Their consciousness technology evolved over millennia, he confided to Reyna during a rare break. "We're trying to match them in days. What if we're missing something fundamental?" Reyna's response was interrupted by another alarm. On their monitors, they watched as the first Nix ships emerged from deep space, massive structures of crystalline energy that defied traditional physics. The final countdown had begun. As Marcus made the last adjustments to the Mind Forge, he realized that humanity's fate would rest not just on their technology, but on Commander Reyna Patel's ability to navigate between two realms of existence. The question wasn't just whether she could succeed, it was whether there would be enough of her left afterward to remember why she tried. The final protocol. The UES Phantom drifted silently through the debris field that was once humanity's outer defense line. On its bridge, Commander Reyna Patel tried to ignore the burning sensation coursing through her neural pathways. The Mind Forge integration was changing her, just as Dr. Blackwood had warned. Multiple Nix signatures detected, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from his station. Their energy patterns are different here. More concentrated. Reyna could feel them. Since the neural interface procedure, she had become increasingly aware of the Nix presence, like whispers at the edge of consciousness. The sensation was both fascinating and terrifying. "Status of the stealth systems?" she asked, her voice carrying an otherworldly echo that made her crew glance at her nervously. "Holding steady," Chief Engineer Fatima Hassan replied. "The quantum camouflage is masking our presence, but I don't know how long it'll last this close to their main fleet." Through the view screen, they watched as massive Nix vessels moved through space like living crystals. Each ship pulsed with the combined consciousness of millions of harvested minds. The sight made Reyna's enhanced senses scream. "Commander," Marcus's voice came through the secure channel from Mars base, "the Mind Forge readings are spiking. Your neural patterns are becoming increasingly erratic." Reyna gripped her command chair. "How long until the changes become permanent?" A pause. 12 hours, maybe less. After that, your consciousness will begin to fragment. You'll start to lose yourself. Then we better make this count." She turned to her tactical officer. "Status of the primary target?" "Confirmed, Commander. The Nix mothership is holding position near Jupiter's orbit. Energy readings suggest it contains their primary consciousness cluster, the collective mind of their entire species." This was what they had been waiting for. After studying the Nix fleet movements, they had identified their command structure. Unlike human military hierarchies, the Nix operated as a unified consciousness, with their entire species' combined knowledge and experience flowing through their vessels. But that consciousness had a heart, a central nexus where their oldest and most powerful minds resided. All hands, battle stations, Reyna ordered. Execute final protocol. The UES Phantom powered up its experimental drive system, designed specifically for this mission. As they accelerated toward the mothership, Reyna felt the Mindforge's influence growing stronger. Her perception began to shift, reality becoming fluid around her. Multiple escort vessels moving to intercept, Rodriguez reported tensely. Stay on course, Reyna commanded, even as waves of alien thoughts crashed against her consciousness. The Nyx were becoming aware of them, their collective mind reaching out with curious tendrils of energy. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. They've locked onto us with some kind of quantum tether. Fatima shouted. Reyna stood, fighting against the overwhelming pressure in her mind. Now, Lieutenant. Execute attack pattern Omega. The Phantom's engines screamed as Rodriguez initiated a series of impossible maneuvers. The ship twisted through space in ways that should have torn it apart, its quantum drive allowing it to partially phase between dimensions. Engineering reports critical system failures, Fatima called out. We can't take much more of this. But they were close now. So close. Through her enhanced senses, Reyna could feel the massive consciousness at the heart of the mothership, ancient, powerful, and surprisingly. Afraid? Commander, Marcus's voice cut through her thoughts, whatever you're going to do, it has to be now. Your neural patterns are approaching critical threshold. Reyna closed her eyes, letting the Mindforged power flow through her completely. In that moment, she understood what the Nyx truly were, not conquerors, not mere harvesters, but survivors of a reality long past. They had watched humanity grow, waiting for the right moment not to destroy them, but to save themselves. All power to forward shields, she ordered. Prepare for impact. The Phantom plunged toward the mothership's crystalline surface. In the last seconds before impact, Reyna activated the Mindforge's full power. Her consciousness expanded exponentially, touching the vast collective mind of the Nyx. Images flooded her awareness, the death of their original physical forms, their transformation into energy beings, their desperate search across the galaxy for species capable of joining their collective, their fear of facing eternity alone. As the ship breached the mothership's outer shell, Reyna made her choice. The Mindforge wasn't just a weapon, it was a bridge. And she would use it not to destroy the Nyx, but to show them another way. To all crew, she managed to say through the overwhelming surge of power, execute emergency evacuation. That's an order. As her consciousness began to merge with the Nyx collective, Reyna Patel prepared to make humanity's last stand, not with weapons, but with the very thing the Nyx had sought all along, the indomitable human spirit. The convergence. In the heart of the Nyx mothership, reality itself seemed to bend and warp. The Phantom's crew had evacuated, leaving Commander Reyna Patel alone with the Mindforge as her consciousness expanded into the vast collective mind of the Nyx. Back on Mars, Dr. Marcus Blackwood and his team watched in astonishment as unprecedented readings flooded their monitors. Her neural patterns, Reyna gasped, they're not degrading, they're evolving. Through the quantum link, they could still hear Reyna's voice, though it now carried echoes of countless others. I understand now, she said. They're not our enemies. They're our reflection. Within the crystalline chambers of the mothership, Reyna's physical form remained seated at the Mindforge controls, but her consciousness soared through layers of reality. The Nyx collective opened before her like an infinite library of experiences, each consciousness a story stretching back millennia. She saw their history, a civilization that had achieved technological perfection only to find their physical forms failing, their sun dying. They had transformed themselves into energy beings to survive, but in doing so, they lost something essential, the ability to change, to grow, to experience life as more than mere observation. They've been watching us, Reyna's thoughts echoed through the quantum link, not because they want to destroy us, but because they envy us. They need us. In orbit around Jupiter, the human defense fleet held position, weapons trained on the Nyx armada. Admiral Thaddeus stood on his flagship's bridge, waiting for any sign of success or failure. Status of the Phantom, he demanded. Unknown, sir, his tactical officer replied. But the Nix ships, they're changing configuration. Indeed, the crystalline vessels were shifting, their energy patterns transforming into something new. The harvested human consciousnesses within them were not being absorbed but rather entering into a dialogue with their captors. Inside the collective, Reyna navigated through vast networks of thought and memory. The Mind Forge, designed to disrupt the Nix consciousness, instead became a bridge. Through it, she showed them what they had forgotten, the beauty of limitation, the power of growth through struggle, the essence of human resilience. Dar. Blackwood, she called through the link, her voice strained but determined, the Mind Forge, it can be modified. We can use it to create a true symbiosis. Marcus's fingers flew over his controls, understanding dawning. A merger of consciousness, but one that preserves individual identity rather than absorbing it. It's possible, but the power requirements. The Nix can provide the power, Reyna replied. They just need us to show them the way. Across the solar system, the harvested human consciousnesses began to reawaken, not as prisoners but as teachers. Each human mind showed the Nix something they had lost, emotion, creativity, the ability to see the universe with fresh eyes. Admiral Thaddeus watched in amazement as the Nix ships began to pulse with new patterns of light. What's happening out there? Through the fleet's communication system, Reyna's voice resonated. They've been alive so long they forgot how to live. We're teaching them, and in return, they're offering us something extraordinary, a way to explore consciousness itself without losing our humanity. The Mind Forge, now linked to both human and Nix technology, began to generate new forms of energy. The crystalline structures of the Nix ships started to reshape themselves, creating spaces where physical and energy beings could coexist. In the Mars facility, Marcus and Reyna worked frantically to adapt their understanding to this new paradigm. The neural patterns, Reyna observed, they're stabilizing. Not just Reyna's, all of them. The harvested consciousnesses are reintegrating, but they're different now. Enhanced. Through her expanded awareness, Reyna could feel the change rippling through both civilizations. The Nix were remembering how to feel, to dream, to imagine, while humans were learning to touch the infinite without losing themselves within it. We stand at a crossroads, she announced to both fleets. Not as conquerors or victims, but as partners in evolution. The Nix sought to harvest us because they couldn't understand any other way to grow. We'll show them there's another path. Admiral Thaddeus, seeing the transformation occurring before him, made his decision. Stand down weapons, he ordered. Open diplomatic channels. As the crisis point passed, a new chapter in human history began to unfold. The Mind Forge, originally designed as a weapon, became the foundation for a revolutionary form of cooperation between physical and energy beings. Reyna Patel, forever changed but still fundamentally human, emerged as the first of a new kind of diplomat, one who could walk between worlds, helping both species understand each other. The invasion had become an invitation, the end transformed into a beginning. Legacy of Light. 1 year after the convergence, Earth's night sky had changed forever. Crystalline structures now orbited alongside traditional satellites, their surfaces shifting with patterns of light that told stories of two civilizations learning to grow together. In the Mars Research Center, now expanded into the primary hub for human-Nix cooperation, Dr. Marcus Blackwood stood before a new generation of scientists. The Mind Forge was just the beginning, he explained, gesturing to the holographic display showing the latest developments in consciousness technology. What we've achieved in the past year has rewritten our understanding of existence itself. Among his audience sat Commander, now Ambassador, Reyna Patel. Her appearance had subtly changed since her merger with the Nix collective. Traces of crystalline energy shimmed beneath her skin, and her eyes held depths that spoke of experiences beyond normal human comprehension. We feared them because we didn't understand them, Reyna addressed the gathering. The Nyx feared us because they had forgotten what it meant to truly live. In finding each other, both our species found salvation. The recovery of the harvested colonies had been their first joint project. Through the modified mind-forged technology, the consciousness of millions of humans had been restored, though many chose to remain in their enhanced state, serving as bridges between the two species. Lieutenant Rodriguez, now heading the new consciousness integration program, brought up the latest statistics. We've successfully established 17 symbiotic communities across the solar system. Each one is a testament to what we can achieve together. Dar. Rina Nakamura's team had made perhaps the most startling discovery. The Nyx aren't just sharing their technology, she reported. They're sharing their history, the collected knowledge of a civilization that has existed for millions of years. But more importantly, they're learning from us how to experience that knowledge in new ways. The transformation hadn't been without its challenges. Some humans feared the changes, while others sought to exploit the new technology for personal gain. But the partnership had proven remarkably resilient. The Nyx's ancient wisdom combined with human adaptability created solutions that neither species could have devised alone. Admiral Thaddeus, his hair now completely white, joined Reyna at the observation deck overlooking the Martian settlement below. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" he asked. Reyna watched as human construction crews worked alongside Nyx energy forms to expand the colony. "No," she admitted. "When I volunteered for the Mind-Forge mission, I thought I was sacrificing myself to save humanity. Instead, I helped birth something entirely new." Through her enhanced perception, she could sense the complex network of consciousness that now spanned the solar system. Humans and Nyx working together had already begun to unlock secrets about the nature of reality itself. The Mind-Forge had evolved into something far beyond its original purpose, becoming a tool for exploration rather than warfare. "We're receiving signals from other civilizations now," Thaddeus noted. "Word of our partnership has spread. The galaxy is watching." Indeed, the Human-Nyx alliance had sent ripples through the cosmic community. Other species that had hidden from the Nyx now came forward, eager to learn from this unprecedented collaboration. Earth had become a beacon of possibility, proving that evolution could take unexpected paths. In the depths of the Mars facility, Marcus and Rena continued their work on the next generation of consciousness technology. The Mind-Forge matrix they developed now served as the foundation for new forms of communication, exploration, and understanding. "The best part," Rena observed, watching junior researchers work directly with Nyx mentors, "is that we've only scratched the surface. Every discovery leads to new questions, new possibilities." Rena, standing at the threshold between human and Nyx existence, felt the truth of those words deeply. Through her connection to the collective, she could sense the changes rippling through both species. The Nyx were remembering how to dream, while humanity was learning to touch the infinite without losing its essence. As the sun set over Mars, casting the research center in shades of red and gold, Reyna reflected on the journey that had brought them here. What had begun as an invasion had become an invitation to transcend the boundaries of consciousness itself. The fear of extinction had given way to the promise of endless evolution. "We stand at the dawn of a new age," she addressed the assembled teams, her voice carrying echoes of both human determination and Nyx wisdom. "Not as conquerors or subjects, not as teachers or students, but as pioneers of consciousness itself. Together, we will write the next chapter in the story of existence." Above them, the stars seemed to shine brighter, as if reflecting the combined light of two civilizations that had found in each other not an end, but a beginning. The legacy of their convergence would ripple through the cosmos, a testament to the power of understanding, adaptation, and the indomitable spirit of life itself.